What's up, guys? It's Bailey Leisure as I'm here with part two of my 2018-19 MLB offseason thoughts. As in this video, I will be talking about the free agents of the 2018-19 Major League Baseball offseason and which free agents and where they went. So, to divide up the video, I'm going to start with the catcher positions. Yasmani Grandal, who had a really bad 2018 MLB postseason with the LA Dodgers. He moved on from the Dodgers. He's signing with the team that they beat in the National League Championship Series, the Milwaukee Brewers, on a one-year deal. Probably a good deal for the Brewers. Wilson Ramos, who was acquired by the Phillies last year, and even though the Mets were connected with JT Realmuto before he went to the Phillies, he signed a two-year deal with the Mets. Martin Maldonado, he recently, after Salvador Perez just got hurt in spring training, he signed a one-year deal with the Kansas City Royals. Nick Hundley, backup catcher to the San Francisco Giants, he signed it, I think it was a spring training invite with the Oakland A's. Matt Wieters is getting a tryout with the St. Louis Cardinals. Some notable ones. Jonathan Lucroy signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Brian McCann decided to return to the team that he started with, the Atlanta Braves, on a one-year deal. And now we move on to the first base position. Some of the notable moves in this. Steven Pearce, who was the World Series MVP last year. A lot of people were thinking he was going to become a big free agent. Well, early on in free agency, he decided to stay with the Red Sox as he re-signed with them for a one-year deal. Matt Adams signed a one-year deal with the Washington Nationals. Mark Reynolds decides to return to the Colorado Rockies as he signed a deal there. Some other moves, Hanley Ramirez, who was cut by the Red Sox last year, he signed a deal joining the Cleveland Indians. And Justin Bour, he signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And Wilmer Flores, the longtime Met, he signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Although we're not sure what position he'll play. He'll probably more than likely play second base, as Jake Lamb will probably be playing first base for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Moving on to second base, Jed Lowrie, one of the free agents. He signed a two-year, $20 million with the New York Mets. Ian Kinsler, he signed a two-year deal with the San Diego Padres. DJ LeMahieu, he signed a two-year deal with the New York Yankees. Daniel Descalso, he signed a two-year deal with the Chicago Cubs. Daniel Murphy signed a two-year deal with the Colorado Rockies as he's replacing, obviously, DJ LeMahieu. Brian Dozier signed a one-year deal with the Nationals. Third baseman, as I'm recording this video, Eduardo Escobar, who was going to be a free agent going into the offseason, he re-signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks on a three-year deal. Mike Moustakas, he signed a one-year deal returning to the Milwaukee Brewers. Josh Donaldson was one of their early free agent signings. He got a one-year, $23 million deal with the Atlanta Braves. One-year deal regardless, but a lot of money for a guy that's had a lot of injury issues despite being a former American League MVP. But for a lot of money for a one-year deal. And then we move into shortstops, which features one of the top free agents that was available for a long time, and it took a while as he was one of the two stars in baseball it took a while for him to get signed. But it happened in the beginning of late February, beginning of March. Manny Machado, after being a big acquisition that got the Dodgers back to the World Series, although he had a very controversial postseason with plays like running into Jesus Aguilar's foot, along with the Johnny Hustle comments, kind of his disappearing, not really making that much of an impact for the LA Dodgers as they lost in 5 games to the Red Sox. He signed a 10-year, $300 million deal with the San Diego Padres, which I believe at the time when he signed was the biggest deal per player. That means he makes $30 million a year with an opt-out after 5 years. Overall, I think San Diego, they definitely got a pretty good... I definitely think they got... they definitely need a star, and they got it, but that much for a player that's kind of a head case, despite being very talented. I mean, definitely it's going to bring a big position to the shortstop and third baseman position for the San Diego Padres, and with some other moves that they made in this offseason. It definitely makes them a sleeper to be a potential playoff contender this year, but it was definitely kind of a risky deal. Not many other notable shortstop signings. Freddie Galvis signed a one-year deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. Jordy Mercer signed a one-year deal with the Tigers. Alcides Escobar signed a deal to join the Baltimore Orioles. Left fielders, not a lot, not many, not a lot. But Michael Brantley, the former Cleveland Indian, he signed a 2-year, $32 million deal to join the Houston Astros. This was probably made, and it would be later be made that this was replacing another notable free agent left fielder from the Houston Astros. He joined the Minnesota Twins on a 2-year deal. Marwin Gonzalez, 2-year, $21 million deal with the Minnesota Twins. Some other moves: Curtis Granderson joined the Miami Marlins. Cameron Maven had a deal with the San Francisco Giants. Gerardo Parra also joined the Giants. And then Hunter Pence, the former Giant outfielder, he signed I think a minor league deal for the Texas Rangers. One of the top, as we move on to the center field position, one of the top center fielders that was in this free agency was A.J. Pollock. He signed a 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers, leaving the Arizona Diamondbacks and joining a rival team. So probably not a lot of good feelings that Diamondback fans have towards him right now. But the Arizona Diamondbacks, they signed another notable center fielder. Just recently, actually a couple days ago, they signed a 1-year, $3 million deal to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And for what it was worth, I think it's a steal for the Diamondbacks, and I think it's a good deal. Is he as productive as A.J. Pollock? Definitely not last year. Is he as productive as he was defensively too? No, but I think it brings them definitely a much more recognizable bat in their lineup than what they were going to be putting in center field, whether it was going to be putting Ketel Marte, an infielder, in center field, but it's whatever. And then we go into the other big free agent that was this offseason as we move on to the right field free agency part. Bryce Harper. Took him a long time, but he got his deal. He got his money. 13-year, $330 million deal from the Philadelphia Phillies with no opt-outs. Unlike Manny Machado, who has an opt-out after 5 years, he doesn't have an opt-out. Obviously, no trade clause. So basically, the Phillies, the only way they're getting out of this deal is if they severely pay him out and or trade him, which I don't know what team's going to take on that contract. But yikes, that was. Despite Harper being the talent that he is, he's coming off a season, probably one of his worst seasons in baseball. But the Phillies wanted him, and Harper wanted his big money. He was entertaining signing short-term deals with other teams, such as the Dodgers or the Giants. But he wanted the big money, and he got it. That wasn't the only outfielder that the Philadelphia Phillies signed. They signed Andrew McCutchen, a 3-year, $50 million deal. So definitely another big outfielder bat in the lineup. Nick Markakis, who had probably statistically, even at the age of 34 last year, had probably one of the best seasons of his career. He re-signed a 1-year deal with the Atlanta Braves. Some of the other notable free agents, not many of them. John Jay, 1-year deal with the White Sox. Lonnie Chisenhall, 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Carlos Gomez, he signed a minor league deal with the New York Mets. Now we move on to starting pitchers. I know I skipped the DH position, but not a lot. There's not many free agents other than Nelson Cruz, who signed a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Twins. Pedro Alvarez, he signed a minor league deal with the Miami Marlins. But now we move on to starting pitching. Obviously, the big one starting off, Patrick Corbin. He was definitely the big free agent. Definitely probably first on a lot of top starting pitchers in free agency. He got a big deal with the Washington Nationals after a lot of people thought he was going to go to a New York team and go to his home state. Nope, he a little bit closer than he was in Arizona, but he did not go to New York. He went to the Washington Nationals. So after deciding not to play or debating if they were going to sign Bryce Harper, they gave a lot of money to Corbin. A 6-year, $140 million deal with the Nationals. I did not think he was going to get that much money. I knew he was going to get it in the hundred millions, but I didn't expect it to be over 120. But I was wrong. Not the only other deals. J-Hap, he re-signed with the New York Yankees on a 2-year deal. Charlie Morton, this was a big loss for the Houston Astros. He signed a 2-year deal with the up-and-coming Tampa Bay Rays. Lance Lynn signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Texas Rangers. Nathan Eovaldi, after a great postseason with the Red Sox, he re-signed with the Red Sox for a 4-year, $67.5 million deal. Some other deals that happened. Clay Buchholz, who had a surprise season last year, the veteran, he signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. Wade Miley, a guy that the Houston Astros, they signed on a 1-year deal. Had a great postseason last year for the Milwaukee Brewers. So obviously that's going to probably replace Charlie Morton. Matt Harvey signed a 1-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Some other notable ones, not many of them. Urban Santana, deal with the Chicago White Sox. One of the top Japanese pitchers, Yusei Kikuchi, if I'm saying that right, he signed a 4-year deal with the Seattle Mariners. And now to conclude the video, I'm going to talk about the relief pitchers that were in free agency. So Adam Ottavino, definitely a big one. He signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the New York Yankees. Probably a bulk of the Yankees' free agent targets were as pitching, and definitely in the bullpen, obviously with J-Hap, starting pitcher. But Adam Ottavino, he signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Yankees. Luis Familia, he decided after getting traded to the Oakland A's, he rejoined the Mets. He signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Mets. Joakim Soria, from the Milwaukee Brewers, he signed a 2-year deal with the Oakland A's. Oliver Perez, 1-year deal with the Cleveland Indians. Sergio Romo, 1-year deal with the Miami Marlins. Tyler Clippard, minor league deal with the Cleveland Indians. Sean Kelly, 1-year deal with the Texas Rangers. Andrew Miller, the former big pitcher for the Yankees and the Indians, he signed a 2-year deal joining the St. Louis Cardinals. Former All-Star Greg Holland, who's, I think, the saves leader of 2017, he signed a 1-year deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. John Axford, MLB, minor league deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. One of the top free agents, as I said, Zach Britton, who was traded to the Yankees. He decided to stay with the Yankees as he signed a 3-year deal with the New York Yankees. Cody Allen, $8.5 million deal for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So as I'm recording this video, I'm going to talk about to conclude the video, I'm going to talk about the notable free agents that are still on the market. And there's even a couple. This happened last season with guys like Carlos Santana and Jake Arrieta. But there's some notable ones. Logan Morrison for first baseman. Brandon Phillips for the second baseman position. Third baseman position, Chase Headley, Danny Valencia, Jose Reyes, Luis Valbuena. Left fielder position, Denard Span and Matt Holliday. For the right fielder position, a couple notable ones actually. Carlos Gonzalez, Jose Batista, and Chris Young. Designated hitters, this was kind of a surprise one, but obviously because he's a DH position. Evan Gattis, and then probably the notable ones in both starting pitchers and relief pitchers, Dallas Keuchel, who's been looked at but has not been signed, and Craig Kimbrell, who's probably wants a big sum of money considering he's one of the best closers in baseball, but has not been signed yet. I think it's definitely surprising that Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell have not been signed, but it is. And that's it for my MLB Offseason Part 2 video, as I talked about the free agents that were in this MLB offseason. What were your thoughts on the big signings by Bryce Harper and Manny Machado? Do you think they're good deals? Do you think they're bad deals? What were the best deals? And who do you think won the 2018-19 MLB offseason? So leave in the comments section below. Check out my previous videos that I did last week, as I did check out the link for Part 1, as well as my Captain Marvel review video. And I'm going to be doing another free agents video this time on the NFL, which has happened this week as I'm recording this video, so check that out. Probably coming next week, and I got a lot of great videos coming out on my channel. Stay tuned for toward the end of the month, my MLB video on basically the 2019 MLB regular season, as I'm going to be doing my predictions video for a third year in a row. So check that out coming soon on my channel. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all later.